everybody, my name is Vanessa Calland. Welcome to Love Chile TV's weekly newscast. Making headlines in Chile this week, lead stories include sexual harassment law, Gonzalo Rojas' death, and new security measures in football. Peter will cover politics, Ali culture, and Pascal will bring us back to speed with sports. A bill to prevent sexual harassment in public places has been put forward to Congress, led by Leopoldo Perez from the National Renewal Party and Minister for Women Kelli Smith. The new sex crime is punishable in subway stations, the metro, concerts, and other crowded places. Minister Smith said she was grateful to the deputies who drove forward this project because it is a reality that affects thousands of women in the country. Women deserve respect, said the Suriname leader. We cannot tolerate this type of situation, and we should be able to stand up and denounce those cowards who hide within the crowds, taking advantage of situations of abuse towards women, she added. The notable Chilean poet Gonzalo Rojas died on Monday following a stroke, aged 93. He was regarded as one of the country's greatest poets of the 20th century. In 2003, he was awarded the Cervantes Prize, and in 1992 received both Chile's National Literature Prize and the Reina Sofia Award for Latin American Poetry. His son, Gonzalo Rojas May Ortiz, said the family is in peace after the death of the poet, and said, "My father had a tremendous life." A vigil was held at the National Museum of Fine Arts for people to pay their respects. On Wednesday, his body was transferred to Chillán, where he had lived since 1995 after 22 years in exile. Special security measures have been announced ahead of Saturday's showdown between Universidad de Chile and Colo-Colo. Among them is a pre-registration of all fans. As announced in Interior Minister Rodrigo Hinspeter, no fan will be allowed into the stadium without a ticket, credentials from their club, and their ID. There will be separate entrances and routes of access for each set of fans, as well as extra transport to and from the match. Full details of the measures can be found at www.ilovechile.cl.
Earlier this week, Education Minister Joaquin Lavín reported that 86% of students frequently witnessed bullying at their schools. The CIMSE results showed that more than 13,000 young people said that they had seen acts of violence with firearms, while 10% had seen attacks with knives. The problem was worse in the north, with Tarapacá having the highest levels of bullying and Araucanía the least. Minister Lavín went on to announce a series of measures to try to reduce the problem. This included the establishment of rules of coexistence in each school, a contract with parents to talk to their children about school violence, and teams of psychologists in each region. President Sebastián Piñera has called on Congress to support upcoming social projects. The government's social agenda includes the extension of postnatal care and the 7% reduction in retirees' contribution to health care costs, among other measures. President Piñera asked members of Congress to help not delay support for the elderly and the most vulnerable, and to approve the bills in a, quote, quicker and more loving way, end quote. After some negative comments about the initiatives, he said that, quote, there are some who forget about the people and sometimes others who think only of politics, end quote.
Hi, I'm Ali Jabry and welcome to Culture and Entertainment News this week. The 2011 version of Cumbre Huachaca will be held on 29th and 30th of April at Estación Mapocho in Santiago. Led by Dioscoro Rojas, who has spent 14 years rebuilding the popular festival, this year the event will include a glamorous chicha fashion event and will be attended by the mayor of the municipality of Santiago, Pablo Zalaquet. The event is a celebration of popular Chilean culture with the prizes of Huachaca King and Queen up for grabs. The third version of the Rapa Nui Film Festival is taking place from April 27th to May 2nd. It brings some of the leading titles of Chilean film from 2010, along with a few important international movies to this island. As the island does not have a cinema, the movies are displayed on a specially adapted projector with the festival facilitated by Hoyt Cinema. This year, 10 flicks will be shown with 6 local films including Que Pena Tu Vida and Goya Award winner La Vida de los Peces. Santiago Stage is presenting an original play next week called Noises Off. The side-splitting comedy is the latest production from this renowned theater troupe, made up of amateur and professional actors who work voluntarily to produce plays in English to raise money for local charities. This play is about a play that sees the cast trying to put on the show nothing on and their antics as things go from good to bad to worse. Noises Off runs from April 30th to May 6th at the Grange School in Santiago.
Welcome to the Sports Zone for the roundup of this week's sports action in week 13 of the Chilean Soccer League. Well, in San Carlos de Apoquindo, La Católica recovered from a slow start to defeat Cobresal by a score of 5-2. The defending champions stretched their lead to 6 points on top of the league with only 4 games to go into the season. In Santiago, Love Chile played to a scoreless draw against Palestino and now stand in third place after seeing O'Higgins clinching the second spot in the league after a 2-0 victory over La Unión Calera. It was O'Higgins' 8th game without losing. As for La Calera, well, it looks like the long season is starting to take his toll. After a surprising start, Emilio Astorga's players suffered their 4th loss in the last 6 games. In Chillán, well, La Unión Española gave a football clinic to Ñublense with a 5-0 win on Saturday. And on Sunday at the Estadio Nacional, Andrés Scotti scored in the midway through the second half to give Colo-Colo a 1-0 win over Santiago Morning. If we take a closer look at the standing with only 4 games to go in the Apertura round, well, La Católica well in control with 32 points, followed by O'Higgins at 26. Love Chile now third with 25, and La Unión Española joins O'Higgins and Lahu for the second position's fight with his 34 points. With their win, Colo-Colo is now in 9th place, only 1 point short of a playoff spot. Don't miss this other great week of action in the Chilean football. Another great weekend of soccer indeed, with the second derby of the season between La U de Chile versus El Grande Colo in el Estadio Nacional. In Copa Libertadores, Colo-Colo collapsed in the last game of the group phase with a 3-2 loss against Cerro Porteño and failed to qualify for the second round of the competition for the 5th year in a row. El Banco Negro was comfortably in control of the game after the first half with a 2-0 lead, but in the last 45 minutes, the Paraguayans rallied back, and with only 2 minutes to go left in the regular time, a free kick from Jonathan Fabro stunned the 30,000 plus fans gathered at the Monumental with the winning goal. And on a brighter note, well, La U de Católica, the defending champion, the only Chilean team left in the competition, will travel to Brazil to face Grêmio Porto Alegre on Tuesday for the first leg of this round of 16. And in tennis, well, good news for the Chilean tennis fan. Almost 8 months off the courts. Well, the former Chilean tennis player, former number 1, Fernando González, el Mano de Piedra, is back in play this week in Belgrade for the Serbian Open. El Bombardero de la Reina, ranked now 514th in the world, couldn't ask for a better matchup for his comeback as he was facing qualifier in the first round, Martin Kleisen. Fernando González scored a 6-4, 6-2 victory for his comeback and will now face Feliciano Lopez in the most anticipated match of this second round. That's it for the sport news this week, folks. We'll see you next time.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Callan, reminding you to check us out at ilovechile.cl. Also, don't forget to watch us every week at I Love Chile TV, your only weekly newscast about Chile in English. Thanks for watching!